with a car, the sign will automatically break away, so we will damage the sign and not the person that is in the car. So these foundations are designed to keep the sign intact, but at the same time, if there's not to damage or hurt anybody.
Thank you. Go ahead, Commissioner Russell.
Thank you. The sign display that you've given us, I'm assuming we're going to try to adhere to this as much as possible.
Yes, that's great. That's just a design example. Obviously, the city name will be different. It's even sure.
But this general scheme and look is what we're going for.
That's what I will be recommending. Looking at the design patterns at Sheffield Park, around Old City Hall. If you look down the Florida Avenue corridor, I think that's this proposed design would be a good compromise between the old Spanish style and also the design patterns that you see along Florida Avenue with Roberts Hall. And so
Are there any comments from the board?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead, Commissioner Tender.
I still want to say, because I don't think any different than I did 2 weeks ago, $61,000 is an enormous amount of money for 12 signs. And I just want to put that out there. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Tender.
If I could figure that out.
Go ahead, Commissioner Aldridge.
Thank you, Mayor. I respectfully disagree. I think $5,000 a signs with permitting and installation is very fair and given today's market and climate and raw material cost.
Are there any comments from the board?
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that the board approve this and get Mr. Jenkins to move forward with the first binder signs.
One second.
There's been a motion and a second for approval. Is there any further discussion from the board? Go ahead, Commissioner Purnell.
Mayor, is there any, I should have spoken sooner, I'm sorry, but, is there any way we could put this out to bid again and resource it again and see what we can come up with? I'm pretty certain that this could be done for less in the same quality, in the same manner.
Can I let Mr. Jenkins answer that question, because I know him well enough to know he does a lot of research as he does. I'm not saying that you're incorrect on that, Mr. Purnell, but I just would like to give Mr. Jenkins one more opportunity to talk about the research and what he's done on this.
sure. Of course, that's an option. And what would essentially happen is that we would carry this project over into the new fiscal year. And because re-advertising it takes some time, about 2 months from the start of advertising it and then receiving the bids, presenting it to the CRA board, all the way to the final award of the most qualified bidder. So if the board chooses to go in that direction, we would essentially move this entire project about 2 to 3 months further back, and it would impact the fiscal year, or the next fiscal year, basically.
Okay. Mayor, yes, Mrs. Gaynor.
You could also give some numbers in terms of what you did some research on just before you put this out to bid, in terms of some of the companies, not naming those names, and maybe some of the ones that you talk to before you put this out to bid, and some of those numbers. I think that's what Commissioner Purnell was looking for.
I understand the whole idea of the project. I got a hard time wrapping my head around that much money to do it, but I understand what we're encompassing the whole, all the blocks for the signs for people as they roll up. To me, I mean, that much money, I mean, we've got those reader boards at the corner of Sheffield Park. We can heighten those and put really nice digital reader boards there for that same price that people would pop. People would see it from the road automatically. But then again, it's only encompassing one area, but that area kind of conglomerates a lot of our stuff. So, that's just me, but
I just wanted you to know.
I know there's a lot of work that goes into this and time and effort and everything. So.
And well, I'm curious myself.
The other bids that we received, okay, so we received a total of 3 bids for this project. The one that, the company that I'm recommending, offered a bid, or their bid was right at $62,000. The second, proposal that we received, was $72,000. And the third proposal was $140,000.
Thank you.
Obviously, there are multiple factors when companies bid on projects like this. If their order books are full and they see another RFP that might fit their, where they could produce a product that will be competitive to other, to their competition or to other vendors in this market. They obviously offer or would bid a higher price because their books are already full, but they would be willing to do this project for a larger amount of money.
I have one question, Ben. Do we have a sign typical of what this would look like in actual physical form that the commission can see that might be, sometimes a picture is worth 1,000 words, so to speak. Would the company have something like that they could show to the board?
They would have, as part of, once the vendor is selected, they would have to provide a template before they go into mass production. But not at this point. Obviously, it costs some money to fabricate these wayfinding signs. So the only information I have available at this point is this design example, including a description, what kind of materials this design should be fabricated on,
Okay.
and how it should be painted.
Okay, thank you. Any further questions from the board? Any from the public? Oh, I'm sorry, Commissioner Tender, I hear your voice, I'm sorry.
That's all right. Ben, I wanted to ask you this. Have they given you any, lifetime? I mean, what is the lifespan of a sign before they have to come back and repaint everything? How long do they guarantee you for?
The warranty is 5 years. I personally think that these signs will last much longer than that. Because
Unfortunately, it's the sun in the paint that causes the problem. The sun will fade these so quickly, but did they give you a cost to come out and renovate in 5 years?
No, that wasn't part of the RFP.
Okay. And I have one more question and then that's it. Did you get any quotes from any local sign shops?
I did not receive any quotes from any local sign shops. I did advertise this in the local paper twice, as the purchasing policy is asking for it.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments? I'd like to ask Commissioner Puno a question. The sign that you were talking about, were you were indicating like a digital type sign, a light up sign, right? So did I misunderstand?
Like a full digital,
Mhm.
it could show like employee of the month picture, what I mean?
Similar to what we have in Sheffield Park on the corners, something like that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just curious.
You could have one that really stands out.
Any other comments from the board? Any from the public? Anybody from the public want to weigh in? Commissioner Tender, will you
Yeah.
ask? Yes,
I'm sorry, I keep going back.
that's why we're here to talk.
Okay. Another question is, do you know what each sign will say at this point? You're gonna get 12 signs. Do you know what is going on those 12 signs? What are we advertising?
I completed a preliminary layout of each sign and submitted it to DOT. And some of the suggestions were rejected. Obviously, public locations like City Hall, the Chambers, Senior Citizen Center, those would be acceptable. At the same time, I also wanted to display some information about the sports complex, the Commerce Park and the Industrial Park around the Highway 390 intersection, on those signs that will be located in that area. And unfortunately, that was rejected by DOT. So I'm in the process of finalizing the information that will be displayed on the signs. Determining the right information for each sign is literally a science, because it's really about finding the right information, not painting or printing too much information on the sign, so it's the right amount in the right location.
Thank you.
Did they tell you that they will give you a discount if you cannot come up with 12 DOT approved signs?
I will verify this before a contract will be signed. The most qualified bidder that I'm recommending to go with, his quote was on a per sign basis. So I'm assuming at this point that if we can only build 11 signs, he will only charge us for 11 signs.
Thank you. Other questions before I call for the roll? There appear to be none. Do you have anything else you'd like to say before Mrs. Gannon? Commissioner Russell?
Yes.
Commissioner Aldridge?
Yes.
Commissioner Tender?
No.
Commissioner Perno?
No,
Mayor Anderson? I think I'm going to say yes, the reason that I'm saying yes is, not because I didn't think Commissioner Perno's idea was a good one, or, Commissioner Tender's concerns were not valid, but, having worked with Ben for about 5 years, I do know that he's very diligent in his research, and, I think that his concern and the way he has pushed, forward with our CRA to make it beautiful and to be inclusive and all those things, that I would have to trust his judgment and go with yes. Thank you, Ben. So that would stand approved. And then we'll move on to new business. Item number 5 is discussion and possible approval of the storefront assistance program application for 701 Ohio Avenue, Farrell Insurance and Realty Office. Is there some information besides the packet that I would like to present? Ben?
I just wanted to summarize the information that is already shown in the packet about this application, submitted by Tim Farrell, owner of Farrell Insurance and Realty. His office at 708 Ohio Avenue was damaged during Hurricane Michael, and the months after Hurricane Michael, he restored his office and submitted an application to request reimbursement for some of the qualified expenses. His project does meet the storefront assistance requirements. So he does qualify for it. At the same time, we had $30,000 budgeted for the storefront assistance program for this year, and we already gave $25,000 to backup furniture. So we still have some wiggle room in other accounts of the current CRA budget, but I wanted to bring this to the board's attention that the anticipated budget for storefront assistance program is $30,000, and we would be going over this budget.
Thank you. Are there questions or a motion from the board?
Clarify.
Commissioner Russell?
Then we had a discussion about this, and I just want to clarify, you've got money in other areas that you can move into the budget to take care of this, right?
That is correct.
Okay. And the only other comment I got is the building looks so much better with the white columns and everything. Just personal feelings, it gives a lot more craftsman style like we're trying to promote. So thank you for taking care of the program, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anyone else from the commission would like to speak? If not, I do have a comment as well. Farrell Insurance is a long time business here in Lynn Haven, and I think that all that we can do for any of these businesses who qualify, who want to go forward with this program and make our city more beautiful, I'm all for it. So I just want to say that. Go ahead, Commissioner.
I was in there. I was in his office, Jim's office, after the storm, and he was still working on hardwood floors and it's just, it's amazing, you know, that he's made a great little transformation in that office. So
I make the motion to approve.
I'd second it.
There's been a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion from the board? Any from the public? There appears to be none. Mrs. Gainer, would you please call the roll? Commissioner Aldridge,
Yes.
Commissioner Pride,
Yes.
Commissioner Russell,
Yes,
Commissioner Tender,
Yes,
Mayor Anderson. Yes, stands approved. Item number 6, Mr. Jackie, would you like to speak to this one?
Absolutely. Same type of application, just for an office across the street from Federal Insurance. This is an office building that is owned by Louis Faber. Him and his son, I think his son owns Arthur Rutenberg Construction here in Lynn Haven. Their home or their office was a total loss, or was damaged severely during Hurricane Michael, so they had to tear it down. So what you see in the agenda packet is really a complete rebuild of the office building. He stayed within his footprint. I attached some before and after pictures of that site, so for you to kind of get an idea how it looked like before and what he has done. I think he has done a phenomenal job, really building another landmark here in our downtown area. This is really an eye catcher in a positive way, and so he does meet all of the criteria of this assistance program. Although I would like to point out that the assistance program is for the renovation of a dilapidated building. So this program is a brand new, or this project is a brand new construction. That's the only difference I would see between other applications that I have received when I'm thinking about backup furniture, Ace Hardware, and so on. So same thing applies to this project as well. Just a budget reminder, this is, we did not budget enough money to cover this particular application. However, I do have some additional funds in other accounts that could cover this, and that would be simply a transfer from supplies operating over to grants and aids. That's how it does work.
Thank you. Are there questions from the commission?
yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Tender?
Ben, how much have they asked for?
They asked for $25,000.
And I too, I have to say, that building is gorgeous. I really don't know that they should be penalized because they didn't save half of their building or something. They just, took it down and started over, but I think the building is beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Tender. Anyone else?
Mayor, if I may.
Commissioner Russell?
Ben, this is another case where I think the program's working, and we've got a beautiful building. But in our discussions, we discussed that this board may need to look at the program. We've either got to figure out how we budget more money, or we've got to reduce the maximum amounts allowed. I mean, I don't think we should penalize this gentleman, but I think we need to look at this before we, work on our budget and start beginning next year. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Mayor,
Commissioner Burnett?
I think exactly, I'm going to piggyback on Commissioner Russell. I think we kind of knew that as people were going to rebuild, this would come up, so we probably need to beef up next year's budget to kind of be ready for more of this, I think, because, and it's very commendable that you're finding a way to finance this through pulling from other accounts, because I think you kind of knew it was going to happen too. So, I certainly, those are my sentiments.
And I would like to add to those comments as well by saying that we're at about 21 months past the storm, and I think that a lot of the fact that these have come simultaneously has to do with what insurance became available, how the rebuild has been going. And so, while we might see this kind of thing again next year, we might not. It may just be the culmination of several months. Any other comments from the board?
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we approve this application.
I'll second that motion.
Any further discussion? Any from the public? With that, Mrs. Gainer, if you call the roll.
Commissioner Russell,
Yes,
Commissioner Brown,
Yes.
Commissioner Aldridge,
Yes.
Commissioner Tender,
Yes.
Mayor Anderson.
Yes, it stands approved. And item number 7 is to adjourn the meeting. And we finished 1 minute early, everyone, so congratulations. And we will move on to the